Hey guys, what's going on? Super Deathbot here, bringing you another review of some alien figures. These are some of my favorite things to pick up. No matter how many times I get them, I am always amazed at the detail and the paintwork and like the new little intricacies I find in them. I actually am reviewing these two together because I want you to be able to see the differences right next to each other. I mean, even just standing there, I'm sure you can see some of the differences. But I thought it would be really cool to do them together so you can see a lot of those differences side by side. So the one on the left is just a standard xenomorph, but it is from some sort of story where it evolved, isolated, somehow being able to make eggs until a queen was born. I think like eating other creatures and doing some sort of weird thing that xenomorphs do. The one on the right is from Alien Covenant, and it's more of a juvenile first xenomorph, and you'll probably see the differences in that once I stand them up. It's very hard to stand them up and still keep them within frame because they're like 10, 11 inches tall, especially the one with the big head on the left. Yeah, that's right, big head. And the sculpt and paint are just phenomenal on these things. The articulation is good, and it's getting much better. My only gripe still with their articulation is that they can't crouch and like look completely forward, which is a real bummer to me. So we'll start off with the one on the left, which is more of a standard xenomorph, but with this new fin spike-shaped head. Just with the lighting and the camera angles and stuff that you can see on this, they do a really good job with the creepy, nasty, wet, gross-looking alien, and I'm all about that. I live that life. Like, that life suits me. Creepy, gross, slimy alien life. The colors and everything that they do on them, they're subtle, but very nice. Like, that's black to blue on the back. It's not just straight black. It's a lot darker than it's showing up in person right now, but it does have some nice dry brushing on the back. Obviously the body has a brown dry brushing on it, and I think they did a really nice job on it. I mean, the sculpt, look at all the detail in this sculpt. Every line, everything is just really nice. I like the feel of the figures too. They have like a nice rubber feel. They're not necessarily hard plastic. I mean, they're not going to break or anything, but they have that rubbery feel so that not everything is going to break if you drop it or put it somewhere, or it's not just really fragile. I like the detail on the head a lot. I think this is a really cool design. I like the way their legs bend, kind of like the dog. I mean, probably hence one of them's named the dog alien. This one has this different kind of curved spiked tail, which is pretty cool. All the tails are bendable that I know of, any ones that I have anyway, and I have like probably 30 or 50 aliens. And the details on all of them are just really good. So articulation, shoulders go pretty straight. I mean, not completely even, but pretty good. As I turn the whole dial here, the left arm on mine is pretty loose, so that was kind of a bummer. The right arm is not, though. The head goes up and down. It doesn't have a great range of motion, but it does have a range. And that's my biggest gripe with these figures, is not being able to get their head back to look, straight forward in crawl position like we always see xenomorphs do, running on walls and ceilings and such. It does have, I don't know if you'd call that, yeah, that is ab. It's ab crunching forward, and it's actually pretty good range of motion, I think. And then it goes side to side as well, pretty good range of motion. It does have elbow joints, like I went over. It has wrist. I don't know if you'd really... It's not really a double elbow joint, though. It's just a single elbow joint. The wrist does move back and forth. Some of these figures, it doesn't move much, so that's kind of disappointing. The hips do go out pretty far, and this is more of a soft plastic, so that it doesn't really hinder the hip movement. Wow, this tail is just moving everything around. The knees are a double joint. Maybe not quite hidden as good as the Xenomorph did, but still pretty good in most positions. I don't know what to call that joint. Where a dog's elbow on his leg might be. I'm sure there's a name for it, and I probably sound pretty dumb right now, but it's not really an ankle, because that's the ankle. It's not really a knee. It's the in-between ankle-knee joint. It goes pretty far back, and it goes pretty far forward. The feet, they do go back and forth. Not a whole lot, but they also do turn left and right and have slight ankle pivot. Not the best, but overall, for a big figure like this, I think the articulation is pretty good. You can get it into some really cool poses, and I mean, I am not gonna lie, even if these things had like 2 points of articulation, I'm gonna buy them, because they are just so cool. And when I was a kid, I had all like the Kenner stuff, the Predators and things like that, and I actually just got from one of my good friends, I traded him Play Arts Kai for a ton of old Predator and Alien Kenner stuff. So as I review some of these, and I have the old and new ones, I'll throw them in the review just for anyone who might enjoy that blast from the past. But overall, I really dig this design, and I love Alien designs in general, so you'll definitely be seeing a lot more of this on the feed, with all the typical Marvel Legends, imports, all that stuff, because I buy a lot of everything. So moving on to the second Alien. This is the Alien from Alien Covenant, the Xenomorph, I should say. Unlike the Xenomorph we just saw, this one has that the clear head with the skull inside of it, which I always thought was an amazing design. I mean, imagine seeing that crawling out of the dark. I mean, it's bad enough that you probably saw it burst out of someone's chest, maybe Deadpool, and it just is terrifying. And how fast it grows. It's like, what do these things eat that they can grow that fast? I guess the answer is humans. That was irrelevant. But if you can see the difference in detail on these things, the chest is completely different, the ab and the crotch area is different, the legs, this is an entire new sculpt, I mean, down to everything, and I really enjoy it. I feel, and I know it is because it's not as evolved, I feel like this is just a more primal Xenomorph. Like, it is really gross and terrifying. I would not want to be chased by this thing, especially this is if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just different than the regular aliens. I mean, this thing is super fast, super strong, and I think just because it's that younger, more primal version. And I love the way that I've always loved the way that the bones are kind of exposed, but the way they had these tendons wrap around these bones into the shoulders, and then the tubes that come up connected to the collarbones that match along the tubes here. I always thought Geiger did a great design with the original Xenomorph, and as other people get to put their spin and interpretation on it, you get some really cool stuff. I like how the spines or tubes out of the back are a little elongated and not so thick as, you know, a more evolved Xenomorph. The bone structure that you get in these things are just really cool. I mean, the whole tail is like an exoskeleton. It is bendable. All the muscle that you can see, it's just all... It's not like these legs with the sculpted texture on them and kind of like almost like an exoskeleton, more like an insect, if you will. This one is more human-like, and I don't want to ruin too much in the movie, but I think that it's drawn from its purpose. Now I'm noticing also that there is a big chip on his butt. That's really disappointing. I didn't really notice it before because I don't try to stare at all my toys' butts, only some of them. And now from this angle, his butt actually kind of looks like a face hugger, which is pretty hilarious if you ask me. Oh, down goes the xenomorph. But let's put this comparison up here. That's pretty similar. That's a face hugger butt. That's like a... I'm going to use that from now on if I see someone that has a face hugger butt. So you're welcome to use that. Please let me know if you do. So I don't usually have too many issues with NECA stuff. This other butt cheek kind of has something on it too. Not the end of the world. I'll sculpt in it and paint over it. I love to do stuff like that, so no biggie. But still shouldn't be happening on a brand new figure. But, you know, I still love the figure. The ribs and the detail and all the texture is really, really awesome. Love the clear over the head. He has pretty much the same articulation as the other xenomorph. Let me back him up a little bit. His arms don't seem to go as high. It's probably here. Not that the other one's arms went up an extraordinary amount, but his arms don't go completely horizontal, which is a bummer. But they are really long, which I think is cool. He has almost human-like skeleton hands. I love the structure on him compared to the typical xenomorph hands that are more like, you know, spocking it up. I think they're really, really nicely painted and sculpted. And the paintwork on these things are just insane. You can see it all through here. I mean, the detail is really, really, really crazy. So, the designs, the sculpt, the paint, I mean, for a $20 figure is really, really astounding. His feet, which I think are really cool, they kind of remind me of like a human, like fox or dog hybrid, which is really cool because the feet are usually like this, and the hands, that's what I was talking about, the spocking. You can use that too, face hugger butt and spocking. If those become things, I don't even need credit for it, I just hope it happens. They are really different, so I like that, and that's what I was talking about in previous reviews where you get a different everything. I mean, the lankiness of his feet, I don't know, they just give it like a creepy feel to me. And the height on this thing is just really awesome. He does have some trouble standing without the tail posed correctly, so I'll just hold him up. But the height is really, really, I think, like menacing. I mean, this thing is tall. I happen to have a Ripley figure next to me. So, I mean, she's approximately 7-inch scale. So you can see, I mean, he's a good 9, maybe 10 or more inches. I mean, he's giant. So, it's pretty cool. That was the Ripley that comes with Newt. So, I mean, Newt's even tinier compared to that. It's pretty cool, actually. So, overall, I mean, not that you always want to lump everything in together, but, I mean, if you like xenomorphs at all, you really could do one review and decide, you know, you're going to get the same quality, I guess, and sculpt and awesome designs that you would with any of the other ones. So, I'm going to review all the ones I have. I mean, I just think they're spectacular figures, but if you've seen one outside of the package, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think they're a really fair price for what they are, especially with what you get. Now, my only gripe is I think all xenomorphs should come with a face hugger or a chest burster. You get something like a Predator or an Arnold. I just got the Arnold covered in mud the other day for the same price as one of these, and I mean, he comes with like 50 accessories, and I'm going to do a review on him soon. So sometimes I do get a little disappointed in NECA or Marvel Legends when like one figure comes with so much stuff and it's really awesome, and then the other figure is just a figure for the same price, which it's not the end of the world because sometimes I just want that figure, and I think a xenomorph is well worth the money, and I think they're really amazing. But it would be cool to build your face hugger and chest burster collection, or like some sort of shooting effect, or, you know, just have them come with something, because you get Predators sometimes come with 15 accessories, you know? Same price. But I'm a sucker for aliens. I'll keep collecting. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will have some more xenomorphs to review and all sorts of things, because I literally have like a bazillion things to review. So I could probably do 5-6 reviews a night and have like a solid year's worth to give you guys. So this weekend I'm actually going to be working on my intro for all my videos and some accessories, and I have printed some different backgrounds and stuff, so not all the reviews are on the same thing. I also have a dio coming in the mail. I got a few of those extreme sets ones coming, so I'll try and give you guys some variety. And I'm going to do some videos too, just showing off portions of my collection, so you guys can maybe say if you'd like something reviewed, and just so you guys can check out all the stuff. I have a whole studio downstairs where I keep everything. And as we go, I'll just do little, different snippets on posing and lighting and all that stuff. And if you guys are interested, we'll just keep going with different things that people suggest. So I really appreciate you guys checking these videos out. I really love doing this stuff, so hopefully I can give you some good information and my opinion on things, and you enjoy that. So once again, thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you guys next time.